Crude oil theft has been part of our history of oil exploration for a very long time. But in recent times, this issue has assumed dimensions damaging the national economy and its impact on subnationals, which remains enormous. And more recently, the House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the content of the vessel destroyed by security forces. The resolution was reached on Tuesday following a motion moved on the floor by Mr. Thomas Ereyitomi, that's the Warri Federal Constituency, moving the motion. Mr. Ereyitomi condemned the burning of the MT Tura 2 vessel, noting that it will further damage the environment. He explained that the vessel had 150,000 metric tons of stolen crude oil at the time of arrest. Many more illegal pipeline tapping points have been since discovered, and the discoveries are likely to continue in the coming days, weeks, and months. Let's talk more about this and how to end this ugly trend, because this, one way or the other, would affect revenue projections by the government from the sector. I have the representative of Andori Okpobo Nkoro constituency of Rivers State. He's of the 9th National Assembly, Honorable Awaji Mbek Abanate. Thank you so much for your time, Honorable. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure, and good afternoon, Nigerians.
Yes, I want to start with this very issue of $12 million worth of stolen crude. Many will say that why is the House of Rep, well, first interested this time around in this saga? Some will say we've had oil theft for some time. What do you make of this? And you are from that region. How has it been? How have we fared for so long with this ugly trend?
Well, thank you. Like you rightly situated the challenge and the issues, it doesn't seem to Nigerians as if this is something very new. We have had the issues of oil theft for quite a while now. There have been parades of suspected persons involved in the act. Over time, there have been the display of some illegal attachments to trunk lines that are supposed to be for export that were discovered by Tantita security. It has also led to the enormous damage to the economy, the environment of my people, especially those of us from the Niger Delta area. It's unquantifiable. It is more than double jeopardy for people like us. And what was put up on display does not seem to me like a tin of milk, neither a sachet of pure water, nor a chunk of granite that one can just take in his hands and put in his pocket. These are things that the eye could see. Even observatory equipment, drones, could identify. It simply means that it is not just a simple act, a simple action. It's a well-organized crime, as far as I can reason. For such volume of crude to be moved in vessels registered. There was another incident before this time in a vessel that was even much more larger than this. What it simply means is a complete collapse of the system. The environment we are talking about is the maritime environment. The maritime environment is expected to be manned by agents of government. I understand that there has been, I don't know whether they concluded it or it's still ongoing, a project aimed at ensuring that there is security around those environments called Phantom Eye. That was supposed to be done by the Nigerian Navy. And Phantom Eye should have enabled the complete security of the environment, where you can, from the touch of a button, you can see a whole lot of activities going on within these areas. What happened? Even in vessels, there used to be, I think there is a technique they call automatic vessel identification. This vessel is expected to have been a registered vessel. It has a name. It should be in class before it can be on our seas. The vessel should be in class. It should be in proper shape. It should be registered. There are government agencies saddled with these responsibilities. I talk about Nigerian Navy to secure the territory. I talk about the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that vessels that are on our seas are in class, they are registered, they are trackable. So what happened? These are questions that they need to answer. And because as Parliament, we don't have answers to these questions. That is why we are looking into what has happened, using this very last one as a case study. Invite those that we know have anything to do to come and explain to us why we will continue in this way and in this form. Why the hurry in setting ablaze the vessel? Why? Because if the vessel is there, a whole lot of things can be found. A whole lot of items could lead us. There could be forensic audit of the entirety of what is there. And it could lead us further to identifying the real people behind this, the incident, not those that you find as able seamen, the marine engineers, probably the captain on board the ship. No, they should have kept the vessel. That should have led us. Is it that there is a ploy to destroy the evidence? And in destroying that vessel, where is the crude content? Where is the crude content of the vessel? They just showed us something, the helicopter fired, and the crude will not burn 100%. Maximum, it is the upper deck of the vessels that could burn. So what happened to the crude? We want to know. If we can use this singular incident to dig deeper, involving and engaging persons who have adequate understanding of the scenario, of the environment, of what really happens in marine transportation, especially with vessels. It's alleged that the vessel has changed names severally. We want to know how the names were changed. Who were the owners? The beneficial owners, who are they? The previous owners, who were they? What were they involved in before it got to this point? So there is a lot to be looked at. Because to my mind, the crude content of the vessel is missing because it did not burn off. You don't just set fire and you expect that 150,000 metric tons of crude will just burn off that way. I am not even looking at the jeopardy on the economy of the people. I have not talked about its impact on the marine environment. If we begin to look at that, that is another criminal action, criminal activity. They sentence everybody within that environment to early death. Everybody around the marine environment has been sentenced to early death. And Nigerians are happy. Because probably the people who will be doing this, they are not close. They are several hundreds of kilometers away from the scene of the incident. How do you empty crude into the marine environment? How do you empty crude
Honorable, allow me to interject now, Honorable. This indeed is worrisome. And like you said, a lot of questions are to be answered. So how soon do we start to get answers to this question, as we expect all those summoned to come up anytime soon? I would also follow up with the fact that Some will say that some of these local refiners now, not those stealing crude, that we could do something to incorporate them. You are from that region, and I'm sure you know more of this than I do. What can we do to take advantage of some of these locals? So as we try to look at modular refineries and all of that, do you see any way for them other than just getting them off this business in totality?
There have been several proposals, several propositions aimed at engaging the locals, engaging those. But nothing has happened. The talks of modular refineries, none has come to light. None. So I can't speak authoritatively to those issues. If there is a political will, if there's a willingness to stop the entire criminality, there would be meaningful engagement with timelines and expected indicators. That at this point, this is where we expect to get. At that point, this is what we should be doing. At the next, this is where we want to get to. But as I speak with you, nothing is on ground to show. I have had people discuss that they say they should form cooperative societies, they should put themselves together. They have done all of that, and they have not been able to move beyond that point. So I don't see any hope in, we want to engage. Even at that, the issue we are talking about now is not the issue of local refiners. It's not those who steal maybe 1 drum of diesel to refine. No. What we saw goes beyond local refiners. Let us not miss the point. Let us not lose track.
I agree with you.
The focus is not on the local refiners who you damage 1 drum, 2 drums of. These are people who come with vessels.
Allow me to ask you that. What now can be the best ways to secure our oil wells and all our rigs? What now do you think will be the best ways? Of course, adopting technology is key, but what more do you think can be done?
First of all, there has to be renewed patriotism. No matter what you do, if the people don't have a buy-in, if they're not patriotic, I don't see how that works out. It is not the fact that we don't have the presence of the military personnel. We do have around the environment. And don't forget that not too long ago, some persons were maybe omnibus generalized accusation that even those who are supposed to man these environments, who are supposed to protect these facilities, have been compromised, and they might even be those who are responsible for the activity. So it's not about security agencies, because they have been deployed in those environments. They are still being deployed in the environment. So why is it happening? It's simply there's no commitment. There's no commitment to the fact that this is Nigeria. This belongs to Nigeria. The persons from that environment have accepted their fate. It's okay. This is what God has given to us from this place. They are using it to sustain the economy of the country. This is the same country that we belong to. Can we have better deal? That is ongoing. Give us higher percentages in terms of derivation. It's ongoing. If the nation state accepts, good. If they don't accept, they have taken that as their fate. But those whose responsibility it is to even secure the assets, how patriotic have they been? There are issues, like I mentioned, that have accused directly members of the security agencies that they are involved in it. So if the security man eventually becomes the man who is tampering with whatever, how do you resolve that? How do you get that? How do you find that out? They have been exposed in the past. What has happened to those who were caught in the act? What has happened? Has there been adequate punishment? It's a lucrative business for those who do it. So if you survive, if you succeed, so has there been punishment commensurate with what they have, the damage they have done, not just to the economy alone, like I said. We are being killed incrementally by the day. By the day, as long as you come from that environment, you must eat fish, you must eat periwinkle, you must eat oyster. Incrementally, you take heavy metals and they keep accumulating in your system. You have organ failure, you have cancer, you are predisposed to these issues of health. We're not even talking about all of that. It's okay, that is our fate. You are impeding navigation. Any vessel that you sink impedes navigation. Before you know it, the creeks, the ports around that area cannot take vessels of so draft, not knowing that it is the action taken at a point that has helped to silt that environment, that has helped to make that place non-navigable. Non-navigability to both conventional vessels, non-conventional vessels, even the local craft. As you sink a vessel on that river, you have dispossessed thousands, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of their livelihood. Those who go to fish by just casting their nets can no longer do that. Because once you throw your net in that environment, it will entangle the sunk vessel and you will lose everything. Nobody even bothers to relate to you in that circumstance. Nobody. We have heard of several boat mishaps. Passengers were moving from point A to point B. Midway, the boat capsized. We have not been able to situate these challenges properly. It is also very possible that some of these sunken vessels, some of the intentionally sunken vessels, could be leading to the issues of marine accident that has led to loss of life. How many people have been prosecuted in this regard? How many people have been held accountable? Even the agencies that are responsible to supervise the safety of navigation, the cleanliness of the ocean, because these are just the two basic responsibilities of NIMASA. It's an environment that I know too well. These are the two basic responsibilities of NIMASA. Safer seas, cleaner oceans. How well have they fared? Under their nose, they are sinking vessels under their nose on navigational pathways. And I have never heard the DG of NIMASA any day raise his voice, say, no, this is wrong. So why will we remain on the white list at the IMO? Why? When the department, the agency that is responsible for this would witness such absurdity and will never raise their voice in condemnation and will not also suggest better alternatives. You sit down, the vessels are sunk. Vessels are made up of several metals. You have chromium, you have mercury, you have copper, you have lead. All these are heavy metals and they degrade the environment. The marine organisms which aid our own economy, as someone from that environment, as a fisherman, they will feast on these heavy metals. They bioaccumulate. The fisherman somewhere catches it, and everybody feasts on it. You eat it. It transfers to you. It does bioaccumulate. So you are not only taking the resources, you are damaging the environment intentionally, you are depriving us of our means of livelihood, and you are also killing us gradually.
Honorable, before I let you go, I would like to ask again that many Nigerians will want to see this probe and get to a logical conclusion. So are you telling us that we are going to get to the root of this? Because I see that passion and trying to get to the root of this. This time around, are we really good? Because like you said, it's not just done by anybody. This is crude oil theft. It's not just professionals engage in all of this. And some people buy it from them, which could also be international parties. So a lot of work needs to be done. Are you sure that we will get a headway at the end of the day?
hopefully so. Previously, I had not taken, as a person, even as a member of parliament, previously I had not taken very serious interest in speaking to this challenge. Probably coming from an aspect of that environment. My times of engagement then prohibits me engaging in maybe consulting or even making some of, for a period of time. I think I have gone past that. Now I can volunteer expert advice. I can also query as one who understands that environment, that marine environment. I can query as it relates to the issues. So I will be interested whether I'm a member of the committee or I am not a member of the committee. Whether it's ad hoc or it's a standing committee that is going to invest, I will volunteer my time because my silence is not the best for my people who I have mentioned here are dying incrementally. It is not in the same vein, it is not good for the economic survival of my people whose sole dependency is from that environment. We don't have land to farm. We are known for fishing. We are known to survive from the marine environment. And if we don't speak up at this point, at this time, we may face extinction due to economic strangulation. So it is time that every man, every woman that has anything to offer as solution in this regard should please join us and speak up. I will participate in the probe. I will participate in the investigation so that I will bring to limelight the areas that appeals to me, the areas that are challenging to my people, the area that I know, area that I have comparative advantage as a result of either my training or my working experience. I will participate. And I want to believe that this time around, the times that we are in are very, very different times from every other period when the economy itself is not smiling. We are buying premium motor spirit for over 600 naira, even when those from that environment don't even have a drop. Because in most of the communities along the Niger Delta environment, you don't find any filling station. It is non-existent. So the jeopardy is more than double for us. So whatever we can do to save ourselves, whatever we can do for survival, I am sure that everyone would be very, very willing to get involved. I will get involved in this issue. And I want to believe that others will be as passionate, if not more passionate than I am, so that we can get to a final destination to solve this problem once and for all.
Very interesting. I would also invite you again to give us updates as the probe goes on. Thank you so much, Honorable Awaji Mbek Abiante. He represents Andori Opobo Nkoro constituency, Rivers State. Thank you so much, and do enjoy the rest of your day.
Andoni Opobo Nkoro Federal Constituency. My people made a protest that the spelling of the name of the constituency was not absolutely correct, and I appealed to them. My apologies. Next time, I'm sure you'll get it right. I'll be very willing to appear again to volunteer whatever knowledge, whatever information I have. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, and do enjoy the rest of your day.